What is good? What is really good, my people? It is UK. Try brother dr.blick, the darkest man around. And today, guys, I'll be doing the top 5 fights in Hajime no Ippo. So if there's been a time for you guys to get that fried chicken, to get that glorious ass Kool-Aid, now is the perfect time, because the UK, Try brother, will be counting down the top 5 fights in Hajime no Ippo. At number 5, it is Ippo versus AG Date. And one of the things I love about this fight was the stakes that this fight had. We knew AG Date's backstory, we knew all the stuff he's been through, we knew his determination to fight Ricardo Martinez again. And we also knew that Ippo's aim of being Japanese featherweight champion was in the horizon, with him being champion of Japan, for him being the #1 Japanese boxer at the time in that featherweight division. So going into the fight, we knew there was a lot of stakes out there. We knew that Date had a lot of experience, and boy, Date used his experience to his advantage. And this fight had a major psychological effect on Ippo, because what Date did, he was smothering his punches, and this was making Ippo feel that his punches weren't working, his punches weren't doing well, like his punches weren't making the impact that it should do. But it turns out that Date was pretty much twisting his neck as Ippo was to connect to his face, as Ippo was to connect to his body. Like, he was twisting the part to limit the damage that he would be taking, making Ippo's full damage of his punch cut in half. And this really had a massive effect on Ippo, because it made him doubt his own boxing ability. It made him doubt himself of whether he can actually beat Date. And this fight went down to the wire. It went toe to toe. I actually thought Ippo was gonna pull through. I thought he was gonna win, but for him to lose the fight against AG Date. And this fight, not only did it give character development for Ippo, but it also gave him the factor of what it's like to face someone that is experienced, what it is like to face a champion. Like, that gave Ippo that psychological factor that he was facing a champion. He was facing someone that is experienced, someone that knows how to win, someone knows how to grind through the hard times, someone knows how to get the win over the line, whether it is dirty, whether it's not clean, someone that knows how to win in style. And that's what AG Date was. AG Date produced a hell of a fight. Ippo produced a hell of a fight as well. And the outcome for this fight was shocking, and it actually had major developments for Ippo in the future. And if it wasn't for that fight, who knows? Would Ippo ever have learned the Dempsey roll? Who knows? But anyways, guys, at number 5, it is Ippo versus AG Date. At number 4, it is Ippo versus Takeshi Sendo, the Tiger of Naniwa. Like, this fight, the second fight of Ippo versus Sendo, was absolutely breathtaking. Every skill that both of these characters had was on showcase. You guys know how Sendo is. Anytime he fights Ippo, he gets excited. He has that Goku rush, bruh. Sendo just loves the fight. Seeing more about Sendo as a character, seeing Sendo's upbringing, seeing everything to do with Sendo was amazing. Because me, I like Sendo as a character. Sendo is a great ass character. But seeing him versus Ippo for the second time, the pace of it, how Ippo was scared of Sendo at first, and then he had to overcome that fear and fight Sendo head on, the way Ippo knows how to, the way he implemented the liver blow into Gazelle punch, into the Dempsey roll. Seeing all of that got me hyped and excited. The way this fight ended, the pacing of the fight, the way it was going for blow, and then you got to factor in the account that Sendo was taking damage. Like, Ippo completely destroyed Sendo's ribs during that fight. Like, the fight was amazing. Like, Sendo carried on getting up, Ippo carried on getting up. Like, the fight was going back and forth. I knew Ippo was gonna win, but the way he was gonna win was perfect. The way he was gonna win was perfect. And overall, that is arguably, in some people's eyes, probably the best fight that they've seen in Hajime no Ippo in terms of season 1. Like, that fight was absolutely breathtaking. So at number 4, it is Ippo versus Takeshi Sendo. At number 3 is Ippo versus Sawamura. At this point in the series, Ippo was dominating the division, beating people with Dempsey roll after Dempsey roll after Dempsey roll after Dempsey roll. Ippo was pretty much beating people by using the Dempsey roll. Like, anytime he was backed against the ropes, anytime he was in danger, he would somehow find a way to use the Dempsey roll to finish off his opponent. And then Ippo encountered a guy called Sawamura, a guy that was able to counter the Dempsey roll, a guy that was incredibly talented, a guy that even Kamigawa said to himself that, why did Ippo pick this guy? Ippo picked a guy that could potentially completely destroy him. Like, Sawamura wasn't just after the Japanese heavyweight championship. Sawamura was after the whole fact that he wanted to humiliate Ippo. He wanted to completely destroy and obliterate Ippo. Like, Sawamura was a damaged person that just loved to inflict pain and suffering. And on top of that, he was an incredibly talented boxer. Like, this guy was incredibly talented, but he just loved to inflict pain and damage on his opponent. And a character like that versus a nice guy like Ippo, a guy that bows after every fight, a guy that says his please and thank yous, a guy that always says sorry even though he may not be in the wrong, a guy that does all them stuff. And then he faces a guy like Sawamura that is willing to get himself disqualified and even go as far as hitting Ippo's girlfriend. Like, this guy had no chill. So the setup to the fight was already there. A guy that Ippo had to overcome, a guy that was willing to beat Ippo in the dirtiest of ways. Wow. 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 Seeing that fight pan out, seeing Ippo refine the Dempsey roll, seeing Ippo perform the refined version of the Dempsey roll, seeing all the pain that Sawamura inflicted on him was truly amazing. And one of the great things about the ending of this fight was that even the refined version to the Dempsey roll still won't be good enough for Ippo to use in the upcoming future. Because the problem with that refined version of the Dempsey roll was, and I'm going to quickly try and break this down real quick, then I can go into the next part. Okay, the problem with the refined version of the Dempsey roll was that the more Ippo does it, the more strain he puts on his muscles, yada yada yada, equals he can't box for a long period of time. You guys know how it is in Hajime no Ippo if you guys seen it. And yeah, at number 3 is Ippo versus Sawamura. At number 2 is Takamura versus Bryan. This fight was exhilarating. This fight made us see what it was like in the world stage. And when I mean the world stage, like, Takamura was a guy that was dominating the Japanese division. Like, Takamura dominated, destroyed, obliterated. But when he first took stage to the world audience, when he first fought someone that was actually on his level, we see how much of a human person Takamura is. Because at the beginning of the series, Takamura is built as a guy that's unbeatable, a guy that is incredibly talented, a guy that no one can really touch, to the point that we're seeing this guy struggling to keep his weight, struggling to make his weight that he needs to make. He was completely struggling with his diet because Takamura was slightly bigger than the average boxer, versus against a cocky guy like Bryan, who was incredibly crazy, a lunatic, a guy that used to fight people. And even he said that he needs women to calm himself down. Like, Bryan was an incredibly damaged person, and he was a street brawl fighter. And seeing Takamura go against someone crazy, someone that disrespected the whole Japanese nation, Takamura wasn't just only fighting for himself, he was fighting for his nation, he was fighting for his countrymen, he was fighting with all this stuff on the line. And he also had to prove a point to his family, because we got to see Takamura's family, his younger brother, his older brother, and his I think his younger sister. I can't really remember, my memory kind of fuzzy when it comes to Takamura's family. You guys know what I'm saying? It's kind of fuzzy, but seeing this fight, seeing the animation, the speed, seeing the techniques, seeing the backstory between Takamura and Kamigawa was amazing. This fight was truly exhilarating, and also made you feel that Takamura was gonna lose. Like Takamura, that guy that was built up to be unbeatable, in a situation that was gonna lose. Like, that was truly amazing. I really loved the fight between Takamura and Bryan Hawk. So at number 2 is Takamura versus Bryan Hawk. At number 1, this fight I'm about to mention, in my opinion, is the best fight in Hajime no Ippo, the anime. Like, in my opinion, this fight is the best fight in Hajime no Ippo, the anime. And this fight is Takamura versus David Eagle. Lord have mercy! This fight was so lit. The animation on point, the effect when you see the wind, the way Takamura finished David Eagle, Lord have mercy. That fight was amazing. At some point, I thought Takamura was going to lose because this man was blind in both eyes. This man was blind in both eyes because both his eyes were swelled up. And the same thing was to David Eagle. David Eagle was such a great guy, had so much respect. And going into this fight, Takamura was kind of the villain because of the way he acted. David Eagle was such a nice guy, and Takamura hated the fact that David Eagle was so nice. He respected him, like, even to a certain extent that David Eagle could have easily gone for the cut eye of Takamura, completely blinded his vision. He decided to go for the opposite, and when Takamura gave the vice versa opportunity, Takamura had no chill, went for that blind spot, and completely tried to open it up. Like, this fight, not only did it get Takamura heated because of how talented David Eagle was, this fight was a fight that actually took them both to heights that they didn't think they would be at. Like, blow for blow. Like, it got to a certain point that both of them fell down to the ground. That this fight, wow, it took my breath away. Like, this fight was so amazing. Like, if there's a fight that I could show you to get into Hajime no Ippo, this will be one of the fights because it was so good. Everything was on point for this fight, and wow, I cannot wait. Like, it really did get me motivated for more seasons of Hajime no Ippo. Like, if we were to get some, like, if we're getting a season 4, 5, 6, 7, if we end up getting that far, wow, like, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. But there's one thing I gotta say before I wrap up this video. The honorable mentions are gonna be Miyata versus Mashiba. That fight was really emotional, especially when you see Miyata's backstory and see the aims of Miyata, the aim of him fighting Ippo for the 3rd time, but on the official stage. Like, this fight had a lot in common, like, with the whole Date and Ippo fight. Like, those two fights were really emotional, that you kind of felt for Ippo in that fight, and you kind of felt for Miyata in the fight against Mashiba, even though Miyata was completely dominating that fight. That fight was a great fight. I thought Miyata had that one. Another great fight was Aoki versus Kasutaka, and in that fight you get to see the variety of styles that you can actually do in boxing and make it be creative. Like, the way Aoki was defending and blocking, like the way he was doing his frog punch, all of the variety of stuff that he did in that ring showed how much variety that you can actually bring to a boxing anime. Seeing that was not only funny, but it was actually quite entertaining to watch as well. And yeah, that is the end of the video. That's pretty much all I gotta say regarding the top 5 fights in Hajime no Ippo. And if you guys have seen Hajime no Ippo, put down in the comment section below your top 5 fights that you enjoyed from Hajime no Ippo. But as a whole, guys, I'm just gonna wrap up this video. So please comment and subscribe. I know I say this all the time, but at the end of the day, I'm just saying, please leave a like, rate, and enjoy this video. And yeah, this UK, Chocolate Brother will catch you in the next one.